Just getting this ready to be streamed. Alex, glad to see that you're here.
Hi.
Hi, hello. And Kitty and Karen. Hi, Karen. You and I just exchanged some nice emails. Thank you for that. And so this is being recorded there. And then this, I push a button over here. And then I'm going to officially say welcome. Am I doing it yet? Hold on a second. And then you guys are all going to wave. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Here we are. We are officially live. I'm going to bring over this window so anyone who's watching later can see. Everyone wave so everybody can see you.
Yay!
There you are. Oh, hi, Susan. Glad to see that you joined us. And Stephen, glad you're here. And Betsy, glad everyone is here. I'm going to go back to the less so busy screen. Hold on one moment. Is that? Do we just see me and my clipboard now?
Yep.
yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we are going to do welcome. This is Saturday, August 15th, 2020. This is the Saturday service. And I want to do a little bit of review before we get into our service. And it's the same review I've been doing for the past few weeks. And it's really to show people, we have often the question about, you know, this, people are confused about religion and spirituality, faith, and when to use which word. And I want to, I use the words interchangeably, religion and faith. And if I use one of them where you think I ought to have used the other, please use the other. But I want to do a review of what the 5 qualities of a spiritual or faith or religious life are. And welcome to everyone who's just joining. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently this week than we've done it in past weeks. So there are 5 different statements that I'm going to give you. And I want you to tell me which quality of a spiritual life this one is. And let's start with this one. If I said the sentence, well, I just don't know. Now, that is a spiritual concept of not knowing. What is the topic? What is the one quality of the 5 of a spiritual life that the statement, I just don't know, or I'm not
Asking questions instead of having answers.
Thank you, Meg. Excellent.
We Unitarians have the phrase, the question is the answer.
The question is the answer. It's just great. So that's one quality of a spiritual life, is that questions are more important than statements. That's 1 point for Meg. Everyone else is trailing at this time. Here's another one. And Meg, you're not allowed to play because you got an answer already. If I said the highest ideals that I have in my life, the things that I would like in my life is I'd like to have more faith, more hope, more love. And I'd like to have less anger, hate, and cynicism. What quality of a spiritual life is that an example of? Yes, Betsy, she raised her hand both electronically and physically. So you get the call. What is it, Betsy?
The hierarchy of values.
That a spiritual life has a hierarchy of values, that a spiritual life is not value free. In fact, it does have values. We believe in peace and not war. We believe in love and not hate. Hierarchy of values, quality number 2 of a spiritual life. Quality 3, hands on buzzers, everybody. Here we go. Quality 3 of a spiritual life. We are not really alone. What quality of a spiritual life is that talking about? We are not really alone. We're going to come back to that. Oh, Mason, what do you have?
Not about me.
It's not about me. Okay, that would work. So there are actually 2 different ones that would work for.
Oops.
So one is that it's not about me. A spiritual life is not about me. And the other one, I'm going to draw this picture and somebody tell me what quality of a spiritual life is this?
Infinite.
Yeah, that a spiritual life is wrapped up in the idea, and that goes right up to questions being more important, that there's something larger that we cannot understand, that we are all connected. So we have 4 qualities of a spiritual life right now. The 5th one, I'm going to use this sentence and tell me what quality of a spiritual life it is. I'm not the man I used to be.
Transformation.
Yeah, that a spiritual life is about transformation and change. Wonderful. Everyone, good job. Let's try it this way. How many of those 5 do you think you can remember? spiritual life is all about? Can you, and just think in your head, can you name 1, 2? Can you get 3 of them? Hold up a number of fingers of how many you got right now. Nobody's calling. You got, some people got 2, 3. I got full hands on a few of them. I'm going to show you these so you can refresh your memory. This is good pedagogy, my friends. Good thing I taught high school for years. Does that got you? Everyone sees all 5 of them. We are going to be doing this review again next week. So thank you all for playing and participating. Today, the Saturday service, August 15th, 2020, we're going to do something different, something we have not done before. Betsy, your hand is still up. Do you have a question, a query?
Oh, no.
And just good housekeeping rules. Please keep yourself unmuted so that you can talk and participate. If you find yourself making too much noise, I will mute you. Uh-oh, I lost my cursor. There it is. I will mute you or attempt to mute you. Excuse me. And any other housekeeping we have to talk about? Okay, I have very exciting news here today. We're running this service. When I sent out the email and I said, Saturday service with something now completely different, it was reminiscent to me of Monty Python, and now for something completely different. But the thing that we're doing different today, hold on. Thing that we're going to do different today. Oh, there's too much stuff on my screen. I'm getting distracted. Let me do this one. There we go. The thing that we're going to do today that's different is I'm not running today's service. I'm not leading today's service. I had this thought, well, what if we had a guest run this? And then my next thought was to the idea that there's a guest host, which then led me to the thought by George Carlin, who said, which one is it? Is it a guest or is it a host? Because if you're hosting the party, you're not the guest. And if you're a guest, you're not the host. That's where my head went. But we do have a guest host. And then my friend Toni, where's Toni? Toni, wave your hand. Toni Anne is, I met Toni at a conference of progressive folks up here in Portland, Oregon. She does not live in Portland, Oregon, but she came out for the Embrace conference where we met 3-something years ago. And Toni is going to be running today's ship. I'm going to be a passenger and I'm going to get to participate. So Toni Anne, Reverend Toni Anne, Minister Toni Anne, we always have a hard time figuring out exactly which title to use. Are you able to see her? Or I got to do a different kind of screen share.
Yeah. So we can see, we can see her. I can see her.
Is she by herself or you're seeing her in the whole group?
She's by herself. Seeing her alone.
Oh, I think I got the technology happening.
You look beautiful, darling.
Thank you.
So go ahead, Toni, it's yours. I'm here if you need help.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to everyone for trusting me with your focus. I know that you all trust Rabbi, and I hope that his trust of me means that you trust me a little bit too. So thank you for joining again. I know Rabbi starts with a quote often. Oh, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I know,
Go ahead.
Yeah, as community, especially during this time, it's important to hear what's on each other's hearts. And so I wanted to start by making some time for you all to share what's on your mind, what's on your heart. And that way, at least as much as Rabbi's Saturday community, we can be of one mind with you about what's going on in your life. So if anybody has anything to share for us to be thinking of you with, please shout it out.
Well, I'll go first. I just went to an Al-Anon meeting and got in a big fight with one of the other women and left the meeting in a huff. Went out and pulled weeds, try to calm myself down. Broke all the rules, you know.
Thank you.
Is that a 4-cylinder huff or a 6-cylinder huff?
I didn't hear that. Was that Candace?
I said, was that a 4-cylinder huff or a 6-cylinder?
Probably 6.
Jeez. I applaud your honesty.
Thank you.
One of the things that's been on my mind or concern lately here in Madison, Wisconsin, is the number of senseless shootings that have gone on. And the most recent one involved killing of an 11-year-old girl that was a passenger in a car that was involved in a shootout. And this gun violence has got to stop.
I got something. I'm Canadian. I live in Eastern Canada. That was where I was born and raised, but I spent 45 years of my life in California. And so most of my family is still in California. And my heart aches, my body aches when I hear the news about what's happening in the United States right now. It's painful.
Thank you both, Bob and Derek. Thank you.
I have a little good news. My son got married yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just so nice with all this stuff going on to like feel a little happiness and normal for a little bit. And it was just, we went out for our quintessential In-N-Out burger on the way home after a party. And then it kind of brought us back with the masks and the whole thing, because we were very social distant, and it was just the family. So, but it was really nice, and it was back to reality after that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's nice you're wearing a shirt.
I will share pictures and everything.
Look forward to it.
Something that's on my mind is there's a friend of mine who's actually moved back from Eastern Canada in the Kingston or Kitchener area. And she's coming back to Calgary. Her two cats are occupying my bathroom because they flew out about a week ago. And
Jeff, can I have that?
Greyhound all service in Canada, except for a few routes in Ontario into the US border there. So anyway, she's busing out to, this is just going to be a hiring week, and just she's busing out to Winnipeg. And then I'm flying into Winnipeg the following day, renting a car, and we're driving from Winnipeg back to Calgary, which is, I don't know, 15 hours. So that's just on my mind because there's things to get organized, and she's also asked me to find a motel on B Street in Toronto. That's like finding a high-rise Hilton in my town of 30,000 people, Cochrane, Alberta. It's not going to happen. But anyway, it's a burden, and I hope we arrive all safe in one piece. It's not a horrendous thing, but trying to get sent across Canada in the time of COVID, when they've canceled all the nationwide trains, it's I'm just thinking it all well.
Thank you for sharing, Candy. I want to invite us all to take a deep breath together as we take in everything that we've heard, and I trust we all have our own unspoken things on our hearts and minds as well. So just want to make some space for those things too. And of course, there'll be time later too if you feel like you want to share later on in the service. Please just keep that on deck. So I heard some things lifted up that are kind of on theme with what's happening outside of this one meeting. And I wanted to lift up a quote for us to sort of center ourselves on. It was written by Octavia Butler. I think Rabbi just put it up there. You should be able to see it in his window. And Octavia Butler was a prolific, after she passed, a sci-fi writer, a Black woman. And she says, first, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you, whether you're inspired or not. Habit will help you finish and polish your stories. Inspiration won't. habit is persistence in practice. And I'm just curious how people receive that, especially in our conversations about hope and figuring out how hope is different from joy and all the other emotions. What are we
love
thinking?
This. I absolutely love this. It's an
Perfect.
yeah.
Who is it who's
Hi.
speaking so I can highlight them? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
didn't-
can't
This
find
is
them either.
Lyndon. I don't
Oh,
have
hey,
my video
Lyndon.
on. Hi.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just really feeling like yeah, inspiration can be really tough to find these days, and habit. I like the quote as a reminder of sort of its stubbornness in a way, and that it can sort of help pull you through those things that are more difficult.
Hello. The thing that pops out at me is that you got to forget inspiration, because if you're thinking about inspiration, it's not going to come. It's one of those things that if you pursue it, it's not going to be there. You've got to be. That's what happens while you're thinking about other things.
It's sort of like love. If you have to look, and I want to be, demand to be loved, you're not going to get it.
Sort of like letting it go in order for it to come and get you.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else ringing for folks?
Yes.
Curious about what we mean by habit.
Say more.
Well, again, I think that the quote is so general that that it leaves an interpretation. I'm just not clear if this is just about spirituality, practice, ritual practice ultimately will lead to something, or just trying to get through a day, or doing, not procrastinating. What has happened?
Isn't it?
I don't know. It's a very vague to me.
If you're talking about
Vague. On one hand, it's vague. At the same time, it's what's the word? Provocative.
if you're talking about transformation, you have a choice and you are participating, and therefore you're doing what has to be done. And it's gravy if you get inspiration. But if you want to be able to write or whatever else it is that you want to be able to do, you have to keep doing it. And you can't force inspiration. You can only force yourself to constantly, repeatedly make the choice to be doing the right things over and over and over again.
Amen.
I have to make a quick apology. I don't know what happened here, but it says we might get signed out and I'm gonna have to sign. And if we all get signed out, please sign right back in. I don't know why but there seems to be a problem here. So Toni, you just keep going. I'm gonna work on this on the back end.
Sure. So Michael, I think to your point, my hope is that we'll figure out what we mean by habit before we finish our time together today. I like that it was general because similar to how last week we talked about a 12-step, focusing on something relative for each of us to move through the 12-step process, that habit might be a little bit like that this week for us. So that's actually a great segue into the next part, which I'd like to know, what do you think you know about habits? What are habits you have that you wish you didn't have? And actually, I'm sorry, hold on, before we go there, Rabbi, should we wait and see what happens with this countdown?
This is not going to go well. So
I don't want to break into the groups if we're gonna.
I can't break us into the groups, guys. Okay. I don't know why, but hey, you know about change, flexibility, and adaptability?
Yes.
I said we're going to experience that.
Everyone, this is great. Let's come right back after these messages. So everyone, please log back in. I can't stop the timer from undoing, and this seems like a good place. So let's take a break, and we'll come right back in a moment. I apologize.